What's up, YouTube? Today we got a Jaguar XE 2.5 turbo 2018. Pardon the lawnmower. Neighbors going the thing out here. This is a very handsome Jaguar. Let me get out of the car also show you. It's got the panel roof on it, but it's got a small roof opening. Big glass, small opening. Not a fan. That's your back seat. Jaguar actually did a real good job of the back seat. Anybody who ever owned one of the XJEs, Van den Plasses, and so on and so forth, they were a long car, but they were very tight inside. This car, as an entry-level XE, has about the same size inside as an old XJE, XJ8 or XJ6, the 4 doors. You start the car, and we have a rotary shift knob, much like the Dodge Durango. You start it, but this happens, and this is kind of nice. It kind of lets you know. Yeah, that comes up out of the dashboard there. You see it, and then you get this nice screen here. This screen gives you everything you need to know. Let me close this door here. So you have an information center in the center here. It tells you how many occupants you have in the car. You have a sport mode, driving mode. You have dynamic, normal, eco, and rain and ice and snow. This vehicle is rear wheel drive, not all wheel drive, so it's nice to know it has a weather option. The gauges are weird. This whole car is weird. So there are some really nice, really luxurious feeling things like the steering wheel that's very high end, very well weighted, typical of something you would expect from Jaguar. And then you have very economical gauges, let's call them. My favorite thing, again, the door panel, very nice. I like the fact that they gave you somewhere to close the door and your light switches are somewhere else. The mirror looking out is pretty decent from the front end, but you have a lot of blind spots in this car, and there's one right there. So if somebody's sitting in that seat right there and you've got to look over to see if there's a car there, that's not very good. And the rearward visibility with those headrests is, you know, somewhat like a convertible coupe. It's very tight and very hard to see, and you don't have all the convertible coupe fun where you could take the top down. You have a nice armrest here. Gives you access to your USB and 12 volt. Also deep pocket in there. The fit and finish, this piano finish is very nice, but again, this is one of my things that I hate about the piano finish is that, see, any piano finish you have, it gets that kind of smear, and I don't care how good you keep your car clean, the minute somebody puts their finger on it like that, it gets a fingerprint. So unless you work for CSI, I don't see how you could really like that too much. Let's turn down the temperature here because it's definitely hot. The sunroof. Let's get to the sunroof situation. So you have a cover here. You can open just the cover if you like. And that exposes the roof. But then when you open the roof itself, you know, that's all you get. There's no more than that. That's all it does. All that space, and about a quarter of the space is covered by the glass that doesn't go any further back. So, I don't know, that sunroof thing is all right if you ask me. Now, how does it drive? Again, another place where I get stuck with this Jaguar. It drives phenomenal. Fast, light on its feet, great competitor to an Audi A4, great competitor to a BMW 328, and even the 325, because this car does come in a V6 all-wheel drive, so they do have other higher packages, other options, and they definitely are here to compete with some of the higher end cars. The problem is they're not doing a complete job. So you have something nice like the turn signal sounds great, but when you open the door locks, it sounds like a Dodge Neon. When you honk the horn, it sounds like a Nissan from the outside. Does not sound like a luxury car should sound, you know? So that's one of the things I have a problem with this car. It's one of the situations that it starts at $34,000. you can lease it for $279, which is one of the best things that makes it really a good steal. You know, with $3,900 at signing, you'll walk out the door at $279 a month on this Jaguar. And I challenge you to find anything that drives this nice and feels this fit and finish for that price. That being said, when you start to compete with the BMWs, the Audis, the Mercedes, they don't take shortcuts in some of the places where Jaguar did. When you lock the doors, they lock like a luxury car. When you honk the horn, it sounds like a luxury horn. When you do certain things like gun the gas, the car doesn't sound like a Ford Contour. It sounds like a car that's making speed, a German beast. So in that sense, this Jaguar is slightly different than its German rivals, is that it does take some of the American route to curb costs. Now, was it worth it? Sure. For $279 a month, you get this vehicle. It's a Jaguar, first of all. Not a lot of people have seen this Jaguar, so they're gonna assume it's a larger Jaguar. It has the presence of the bigger XF, and it has a decent amount of interior room for this price range. So the gas mileage is actually good. I usually get about close to 400 miles on the tank if you're not really driving too hard. If you're driving it normal around town, which is again another good thing about this car that it offers that not a lot of cars offer. So as you can tell from the driving dynamics, very smooth. Steering wheel has all your amenities that you look for. And if you're in the market for a Jaguar XE, I would say go with the rear wheel drive and pull the trigger. It's another one of my reviews, and hopefully they're getting better. Hopefully you guys like them. Like and subscribe and all, please. And leave any comments to something that you might want to see, any cars you want to check out, or anything you want to know about cars that I review. Thanks, and have a great day, guys.